Hello to everyone. This video that you're about to see is probably something you have seen or should have known very early in your career as a video editor. That's something important of this video. You're very lucky if you are a video editor and you're watching this video appeared to you. You're very lucky. If not, if you're not a video editor, then this video isn't for you. Just go and look for another video out there because this video is just for video editors. I don't know how many video editors will look at this video, will watch this video, but just know that because the information is super targeted to actually help video editors. In what? You may be asking. Many video editors have this belief, in my case, and I know it's a wrong belief, that they should know more to charge more. What I mean, they should get better at editing. They should take hundreds of courses to know how to edit better, to charge more, to find better clients who wants truly to pay them more. Yeah? But what I'm going to teach you in this video is that is a mistaken belief. That's a wrong belief, because it's very probably that your editing styles and your editing abilities are very useful to some people, but you need to find a way so those people you are useful for, your editing abilities are useful for, find you. You need to clear that path so these people can find you, because they don't know you. You have these abilities, you don't need to become better. You are just perfect for one person who needs you, but they don't know you exist, and that's the problem I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to stop getting those bad clients you get from platforms like Fiverr, or I'm going to talk about the platforms, but you know, I've been there. I was a video editor at some point. I know what is to have those bad clients you find on platforms that maybe think you charge too much for what you do, or ask too much, too unrealistic daytimes, ask too unrealistic amount of videos in a little period of time. I know that. That's why I'm making this video. So what I'm going to teach you is how you can use content in platforms that your client is watching constantly, for example TikTok and Instagram, because people that watch TikTok and Instagram, that's where your clients are. If your client is interested somehow in start creating content, then it's very probably that your client is watching content very often. That's why you want to create content for those platforms. I'll give you two scenarios. In A scenario and B scenario. In A scenario, and it's the scenario I recommend, in A scenario you are going to make content. I will emphasize on how that content will work so it actually helps you, because I'm not going to talk about the basic show portfolio, $5 edit versus $100 edit. That's working, but that's not the whole spectrum. In A scenario, you're going to show your face. In B scenario, you are not showing your face. I recommend this scenario, and probably you want to advance faster and achieve more with what I'm going to teach you. You want to go for A scenario, not B, but you can also work in B scenario. I know that you as an editor probably don't want to show your face out there. That's why you're helping other people, and it's okay to be the person behind someone else. It's okay, it's perfect, it's something very admirable. So that's why I'm showing these two scenarios. So let's start. I have notes here in my computer. I have notes of everything, so I give precise information. Don't start improvising in anything. So let's start. I told you that you are going to get good clients of this, right? You want good clients who value your work, your expertise, and at the end of the day, pay you more for what you do. So you can have more time to improve, to all these things. You know, to have that dream life, you know that you are going to have with good clients. What you're going to do first to this content strategy, the first step to actually get new clients and good clients with content, is identifying who's that good client you're looking for. He's going to be your ICP. What this stands for is your ideal customer persona. You're going to find him. You're going to describe him as specific as possible. So I have it here. What will be this ideal customer persona as a video editor? At least from my opinion, from my own experience. In my case, as a video editor, my ideal customer persona will be, first, someone who values my expertise. What this means is that someone who understands I have certain expertise in video editing, so I know what subtitles are good, what type of effects are good, what type of animation are good to generate certain specific, to make the video work certain specific way. I want that client to understand me as an expert in that, so he can just believe in what I have to in my work. Yeah, at the end of the day, he believes in my work because he understands my expertise. The second thing is that this client understands and respects my time and my process. what this means is that, for example, if my ideal customer wants 7 videos a week, then I can tell him, my time to edit 7 videos a week is, I will deliver 7 videos in 2 to 3 days. That depends on you. But you can stay comfortable to that client that you have specific times, because it happens a lot that clients ask you to make, for example, those 7 videos from one day to another. For some editors, this thing is possible. For other editors, that ain't possible. That isn't possible. Someone who respect that. Another thing is to build long-term relationship. And the final one is someone who understands fair pricing. This last one is very important because I want a client to understand that what he's paying for my services is enough, like is fair. And you also should be fair in setting a price for your services, but that's something for later. So let's go with that thing. I will make a resume over here. So first thing is find your ideal customer persona. Then let's start with this. I have a whole document with this. You can find it in the description. Not directly in the description. In the description, what you will find is a link to my Instagram account where you can just send me a DM with the word clarity, and I can sell you this whole template that I'm building here, that I'm explaining to you here, so you can have it on your own. You can start like using this template to make it more specific for your case, and you can start taking action. If you have already worked with someone, like start to think about those persons. But what I want you to understand more about your ideal customer persona is not how you want it to look, but how he actually is. Now you know these things. Now understand this ideal customer is in what industry or niche. Like what is his niche? Is he into fitness? Is, I don't know, maybe your niche is sports videos, or maybe your niche is car videos, maybe your niche is real estate videos. Like understand that niche to have it very clear. Another thing to have very clear is how much is this person winning? How much is your ideal customer winning? So I don't know, let's say for example, went from 2K to 3K a month. Yeah, understand how much he's winning. And here's the key part I want you to understand, because this will be useful to making content toward this, is first, what are his or her main key points or pain points? So what are his or her pain points? So for example, here I have some. This person have like low views. That could be one pain point. Another pain point is to have an inconsistent brand. Another one could be, this one is very important, is for example, he had a bad experience with other editors, like bad editing delivery. And there are other ones, like for example, like they have no time to produce content, to edit content. That's another pain point. Or like lack of professional polish, like they want their videos to be more professional and they can't. Those are pain points. You want to understand the specific pain points of your ideal customer. And the other thing is to understand their common limiting beliefs. This is very important. You will understand that. This took me a time to understand, yeah, to be honest. Like I've spent a lot of time trying to understand why all these gurus are talking about limiting beliefs, but all your content is going to solve these limiting beliefs. That's why understanding these things is important. So for example, a very common limiting belief that you will solve with your content is a very common one. For example, editing is too expensive. Another limiting belief your client may have is, for example, I can edit all myself. Or for example, another one, editing or getting my videos edited better won't make more sales, won't give me more, doesn't drive more sales. Another point is, for example, I don't need edit to get a higher retention. Yeah, these are common limiting beliefs that you are going to solve. You are going to prove them if you actually can prove them. That's very important, to be very honest that you can prove them. You're going to prove them that they are wrong, that they think something but they are wrong on what they think, and you're going to tell them what they should actually believe, their new belief, and you're going to teach them, like for example, in that first case, editing doesn't drive to sales. You're going to teach them a good edit actually is going to show more professionalism of what you do, and is going to generate more trust in your people, so you sell more. That's an example. So understanding these things is very important. Understanding, just to resume, the industry or niche you want to emphasize, the more micro niche is this thing, the better. Yeah, because your first 1 to 10 clients, your first 10 clients are going to be easier to get if you focus on a micro niche. For example, real estaters that do a specific amount, like a specific houses. That's super specific. For example, English teachers, Spanish teachers, any sort of tutor or bodybuilding, something. The more specific, the easier it is to get clients. And yeah, understand the 6, how much is he winning, their niche, pay points, and the team beliefs this person have. So now understanding this, we can move with the actual content, because we know our goal is to attract him, yeah, to make content, so we speak to him directly. I'm sorry, I'm still learning to do videos with my board, but give me a minute. So now, regards to content, can make another video emphasizing in everything I'm showing you here. If you think it's useful, let me know with a like first, or with a comment with something specific that you maybe want me to talk about, based if you think this was useful or not. Yeah, by your content, you understand the limiting beliefs, the pain points of your client. What you're going to do is your content is going to be useful for a couple of things. Yeah, so your content is going to help you to build and communicate with your target audience, with your ideal customer persona. How you're going to build authority, that you are the one that can help him. You're going to generate trust. You're going to solve beliefs, and you're going to educate them towards their new beliefs. So I will call this education. So that is where your content is going to do, and I'm going to explain to you how you can do content towards to solve these things. Authority. Want to think how your ideal customer is going to think of you as an authority. The easier way to prove that is authority is making value content. For example, I've used this specific editing technique with these clients, which cut attention for their real estate videos. That's, for example, one technique. And you build authority basically showing that you know how to edit. So you want to make sure videos that show your ability, your expertise. I will try to develop more, go deeper with each one, but I will tell you the general things. Trust. How can you build more trust? This one is easy. This is where you're going to go and look for testimonials. I know you have some clients, you're going to go out and ask them for a testimonial. And I want you to make that testimonial not just, yeah, the video was good, but ask them to go deeper and talk a little bit about the time, the delivery. For example, this will be a very good review. You gave me a very good video and the delivery was perfect. I told him I wanted to make a correction and he did it without doubts in a matter of minutes, and everything was easy. That will be a very good testimonial because it's talking very good about you, that is easy to work with you. At the end of the day, that is what all ideal customer personas have in common. They want someone who's easy to work with. So trust is testimonials, and a little mix of these two ones, authority and trust. This one is something that people are not doing in this video editing personal brand. That is, talk a little bit, make content about how is your presence. I'm not talking about how to show your timeline of your edit. I'm talking a little bit more of talk about what is a day editing with you. You receive the raw content from your client, then you start to edit. It lasts about 3 to 5 hours. Once you edit that video, you upload it to a drive, have a full organized drive folder, and then you deliver that video. Or maybe you have a more professional way to deliver each video, but talk about these things that also are valuable for your client. Not just that your video looks good, but that is also you have a very good workflow. So I will talk about behind the scenes, but deeper. Talk about the editing, I'll talk about also delivery, editing and delivery, make behind the scenes about that. That will be super useful for your video editing personal brand. Then self-limiting beliefs. I've seen 1 or 2 video editors, personal brands, that are actually doing this thing. And this thing is solving limiting beliefs. What I mean is that you're going to show them what they actually need to start believing, that they need your editing to this new belief. I'm going to give you an example so it's easier to understand. Let's say, for example, let's go with this limiting belief I told you in the past. That is, for example, editing is too expensive. That is a limiting belief your client may have. So what you're going to do is, for example, make a video to show them, no, video editing isn't expensive, but it's the best investment you can do in your brand. And your whole video is about that. It's explaining that from your own expertise. You're going to make a video of how your video editing service is something expensive, but it's a very good thing to invest. That's one thing. Another very common misbelief, for example, people that ask or think that they need huge amount of videos for content to be useful. For example, you can make a video telling them that they don't need to make a lot of videos, but they need to find an editor, how to make quality editing, so you have to post less videos to have better results. That's another thing. And finally, education. This is a little bit related with that. Not to make videos like, for example, how to make this specific sound effect or how to find sound effects for your videos. You're not going to do that. You're going to educate your client towards like your specific solution. For example, this is like similar to solving limiting beliefs, but they start from zero. For example, if you were a real estate video editor, let's keep going with that example. You're going to educate your audience on what are the key things or what are the things that a real estate video should have. You're going to tell them like all these things that videos should have. You're going to educate your audience in the sense to showing them what is a good edit. You know things, you have a experience in video editing. You're going to educate your audience, telling them, listen, if your video have this thing, will be a better video. So if they understand that and you start like educate your audience in that sense, they are going to understand you're valuable to them, you have expertise, you know what you do, and they are going to believe more in you. So these are the basic things. Like these will be your content pillars in that sense. And you want to think of videos or posts, for example, or Instagram stories to build authority, to generate trust, to solve limiting beliefs, and to educate your audience. But understand how to educate your audience. Now the final thing, so you can get these clients, is to make a CTA. So you're building all this content right here. This content won't be useful if you don't have a simple CTA. I want it to be simple, very easy to do, very systematic. Why? Because think of your customer. Your customer don't know nothing, lazy in many things. All of us are lazy. Your ideal customer probably is also lazy. So you want to make it easier for them to find a way to communicate with you, to ask you to be their video editor. So what you're going to do is to make something easy, some sort of CTA, but just one CTA. For example, what could be examples of CTA? You add a link in your description to book a call with you. For example, in your description, you have something that says, for example, comment this or DM me this to start. So you can start a conversation with them. That's another example. But what I want you to understand from this is that just find one method and target all your CTAs to that one method. So if you decided you have a link, then in all your videos, tell at the end that if they want maybe to work with an editor who understands those things that they're explaining to you, you can book a call with me to find if I can edit for you in a link in the descriptions. They have just one point to go. If you're telling them like, send me a comment on this video and I will tell you this, or go to my description and you will find this, or DM me this and that, they will get confused. They will get confused. They won't do it at all because there are so many ways, so many things that they won't understand which is the real way to find and you. I guess that was everything I have to say for this video. Hope this was really useful to actually start your personal brand as a video editor. This is something that will bring you a lot of clients, brand new clients, good clients. Just wanted to say that if you think this information I provided is valuable, feel free to send me. I am not only to send you a document with all these more specified and as a template for you to just put your specific case in that template, but if you want to work with me, I have a program, very easy program. I explain your program very fast right here. It's a whole mentorship program when I help you build a good strategy to know what to post, when to post it. Very important, with clarity, so you have clarity towards what you have to post in order to get results in that sense. And that consists also of a series of calls to review that your content is going well in that sense and that you are going in a good way. That being said, if you're interested, you will find the link to my Instagram in my descriptions or in the description of this video. Being that said, hope you're doing very well, and as I say always in my videos, I'm looking forward for your growth. Goodbye.